A film made to mimic the patriarchy, to make fun of men and destroying all things that are men. The worst piece of woke propaganda the left has produced in years. Every word that comes out of Brie Larson's mouth is either fuck the men or men don't matter.
Bazinga!
None of this happened, obviously, yet I was led to believe by certain grifters that this is all that the Marvels is going to offer me. Well, they were lying. The Marvels isn't a great movie, don't get me wrong. It has its fair share of problems that I will definitely get into. But before that, I have to give credit where credit is due. The story starts with something entanglement and not the Will Smith Zeta Pinkett Smith entanglement, but like the science fiction entanglement. And due to this, our heroes constantly switch places through teleportation, and something worse is coming, obviously. And once again, it's the world's ending, and our heroes have to band together to fix what's going on and be awesome while doing it. Well, kinda. Let's all just universally agree Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, is the best part of the movie. Her fangirling over everything never stops being hilarious, and the people who skipped Miss Marvel due to some fucking reason, racism, shame on you. But even without having the context of the show, her storyline still makes sense for casual viewers. Iman Vellani is perfect in this role. Her charm makes up a lot for the other two boring protagonists. This time around, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel kinda works. She isn't as stale as she was in the other MCU projects, but she also wasn't given enough material to flex her acting chops. It feels a lot of the time she's just winging it. Tenoya Paris as Monica Rambeau is fine. I don't have any opinion on her character, and I refuse to elaborate any longer. Nick Fury finally feels like Nick Fury after that terrible debacle what should not be named. He is super funny, well, he is Samuel L. Jackson, and every interaction he has with Kamala's family is the funniest shit. Now let's talk about the story. Well, there isn't much to talk about it. The story thread is as thin as the muslin cloth in the 17th century. Most of this feels like ad-libbed and the plot is almost non-existent, but the three casts' chemistry somehow salvages what could have easily been a train wreck. And let's just agree, we are all hoping it was a train wreck so we could make fun of it. But there's one action scene in the beginning that's really creative, and the sound mixing in that scene and that pop music is very fun to see. It reminded me a lot of the hallway fight in the Guardian of the Galaxy 3 movie. Also, they should have used this creative choreography a bit more, because the action set pieces were lacking in this movie. The film isn't good at the big moments, but whenever it's trying something small, like the characters interacting and bonding, is when the film truly shines. If leaned on more, this film would have benefited a lot more. The pacing, for the most part, it's pretty good. The film doesn't waste any time, which was nice, but also because of this, the film did gloss over quickly on some things that needed space to breathe. There's a planet they go to, and that whole scene kind of killed the pace. They didn't commit to the whole thing, the absurdity of it all, and because of this half-heartedness, that scene felt quite random. Though I do admire when the Marvels leaned on some pretty absurd gags. This reminds me of one scene in the third act revolved around something so ridiculous and so fun. And the theater I went to, the people were losing their shit. One guy, in a fit of laughter, dropped his hot coffee onto his girlfriend's lap. Truly a Sigma move. Now, I have touched on the issues a bit vaguely till this point, but let's talk about the elephant in the room.
What?
No, not you. The Marvel's antagonist is the weakest link of the film. She's probably worse than Malekith in Thor 2. And you know how I know this? I at least remember Malekith's name. I just wrote this review 3 hours after I saw the film, and I swear to God I couldn't remember her name or what she looked like. Moving on. Also, the film has production issues. You could tell the film doesn't feel complete. The narrative certainly feels very rushed. And I know there were some shooting difficulties and the cast weren't getting along. But at the same time, this kind of female solidarity isn't something that we see often in the superhero space. So it was a breath of fresh air. They didn't live up to their potential, and which was kind of sad to see. So is the Marvels as bad as Ben Shapiro probably telling you? No, it's certainly not. But is it great? Yeah, it's better than Thor Love and Thunder and Ant-Man and the Wasp. But those aren't high bars to clear. But I'll say this. The Marvels had a sincerity that I didn't expect. I saw this humble approach of storytelling at the beginning of the MCU, and we don't see that much often in this multiverse of madness. So, what I'm trying to say is hopefully the future of the MCU isn't as bleak as Ben Shapiro probably telling you. I don't know, I don't watch his videos. The Marvel gets a solid 3 out of 5. This rating could change upon rewatches. I don't know. I hope not. But now that we got it all covered, let's talk about the actual